Welcome back to my channel. I'm Julie, keeper of my home. If you're new here, I have been doing the Three Rivers Challenge. This is a pantry challenge where we are eating from our own food stores. You choose the rules that work for your family. For our family, we are choosing to do this challenge for the months of January, February, and March. So we are not shopping. We are just shopping our own home food stores. So the freezer, the refrigerator, leftovers, our pantry shelves, our root cellar, all of it comes from our home. This, I guess, can be a challenge, but it's also really good because you're stopping food waste. We don't want to waste food. My mom always said, waste not, want not. There's so many different ways to utilize what you have, and this is a great way to be really creative with what you have. It's a great time to pull out those old cookbooks or Google recipes or go onto Pinterest and look up some new things on there. It's just a lot of fun to I like it. I'm calling them designer meals because you are designing something new, some new creation, and that's always fun. So the challenge, we are in week 4. The challenge for us would be the fact that I feel like I have been so busy with other projects that are they all have deadlines, and I'm really pushing to get those completed, that we're not eating a lot. I'm not anyway. Sometimes I will get up in the morning and I'm up at 5 and I am just going. And I don't stop to eat anything for the day, nothing, until about 2 o'clock sometimes. So I'm really not thinking about food. And then it's just a quick, oh gosh, what are we going to throw together? What do you want to do? What can we have tonight? Too late to take something out of the freezer. Just those kind of things. I guess that would be the challenge. I'm hoping that after today that things will slow down a little bit, hoping. But I guess that's our only challenge for right now. It is, like I said, week 4. We haven't run out of anything. We haven't hit any really hard points at this point. So I'm just going to get into what the meals are for this week. I didn't get a lot of them. I only got a few. We just, like I said, we'd either eat a sandwich or soup or, something quick left over, and I didn't always get to film it. But I promise you, there is something in here that you can take away from this week's meals. Good morning, almost afternoon. Joe and I just got back from church Sunday morning. He is getting ready to fix us some breakfast. We do not eat usually before we go to church in the morning. It's too early, rushing around, getting ready. But I just wanted to show you something. I've been working really hard on changing up my sourdough starter just a little bit. Typically, for a sourdough starter, you want it the pourable like a pancake batter. They say if if it's the consistency of a pancake batter, then it's good. I don't like it that thin. To me, that's thin. I like a thicker sourdough starter. Now, our sourdough starter it'll be 4 in March. So I have had it for forever. I don't follow any real rules. So I just feed it, water it, use it. It doesn't even go in the fridge because I use it too often to keep in the fridge. But this morning, I've been playing with it, making it thicker. And you should see how much this starter is loving life right now. I have to show you. Look at this. This is incredible. This starter is loving life. I mean, it's just beautiful. You can see the condensation on the inside of the jar. open it up and you can see inside. Look at all the bubbles. It's just bubbling up in there. It's happy. It's very, very happy. So I am going to make some sourdough bread today. I did, to be totally honest, I did make a loaf yesterday. The sourdough starter was not where I wanted it to be, but I went ahead and used it anyway, and the bread did not come out very good. It was definitely a fail. But you know, sourdough is one of those things that you have to, it's a trial and error. I mean, you don't know until you try it, right? It was a new recipe that I tried that I had seen on, I think it was a YouTube channel somebody had put on there. I don't typically try new recipes that are like way off different than what I usually do because they're too far off of what I usually do. And I don't find that they work real well. So this one was an epic fail. I couldn't even use it for like a French toast bake. I couldn't use it for anything. I mean, the inside, it was like, the outside was like a rock and the inside was very raw. So the chickens got it. So with this one, I am actually going to make peanut butter sourdough. I love that because the girls are going to, today's Sunday, the girls will be here tonight. There's no school tomorrow. So they're gonna love this bread. It's like you can toast it and then have jam with it, and it's like having peanut butter and jam. It is so, so, so good. So that's what I'm going to do today. And for breakfast this morning, Joe is using up leftovers. We've been doing that a lot lately. I told you we're gonna use a lot of leftovers. This is breakfast. This is what Joe whipped up. So he fixed me a cup of tea. I love this man. We have fried potatoes, which are leftover from last night's supper. We have some sausage, some bratwurst, some leftover pot roast. That was the last of the pot roast, and he fried that up. Some bacon and some eggs with some tomatoes and peppers, onions, just a lot of deliciousness, and some homemade brown bread that we toasted. Joe's having the same thing, but he adds cheese to his eggs, and he is also having coffee. I cannot forget to mention we have some homemade apple blossom jelly for our toast and blueberry rhubarb jelly. I am a huge fan of the apple blossom, and I like the dandelion jelly as well. Love, love, love it. Joe really likes the blueberry rhubarb. So that is his absolute favorite, and for me, it's just a little bit too sweet. Look at the big chunks of blueberry in there. Take a bite. On this night, I am roasting a chicken. It has been seasoned with thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of oil, rosemary, just a bunch of different seasonings, dried celery even. I just mixed all of those things together in a little dish, and I rubbed it all over the chicken, in underneath of the skin, inside the cavity, all over. Just want to get it nice and seasoned. We also have some stuffing, some green bean casserole, a gravy made from the pan drippings, and look at this chicken. We also have baked potato, and we eat the skins with this. They're delicious and very nutritious. This is what the meal looks like all put together. Monday, January 16th, and guess what? Joe made more stuffed pork chops. They are that good, so you need to try these. Whipped potatoes, beets from our garden that we canned, and some pork. These are pork What are these? Boneless
pork loin.
Boneless pork loin chop that he cooked. We found these in the freezer, and we had some stuffing left over from the last batch of pork chops that we did. If you remember, if you saw that one, we did put some stuffing away in the freezer, and Joe just really wanted these again tonight, and I'll tell you, they're delicious. I almost missed filming breakfast. Madeline, we've got a little bit left. Madeline is having homemade toast, brown bread, toasted, with homemade butter, homemade applesauce from apples that grew in our orchard, and homemade juice, apple juice from apples that grew in our orchard. A delicious breakfast. Is it delicious?
The toast is 100.
It is. Tonight, we are using up some stew beef, peppers, and onions and mushrooms. We have a lot of mushrooms. Not that we have to use them up, but they go so well with beef. We have stew beef that we've got like a lot of stew beef actually, and we were trying to do something that wasn't a soup. So Joe fried up some of the stew beef and he put it in the oven to keep warm. And then in a cast iron pan, we had a pepper that was just about ready to go bad. He chopped up some onions, he added some sliced mushrooms, and he just mixed that with some garlic, minced garlic, and some soup. This is Campbell's French onion soup. Mixed all that together, quite a few seasonings, and a little bit of wine, a little bit of Worcestershire, just no measurement. He's just kind of flying by the seat of his pants, which is often what we do. We don't measure or anything, but these all make really great flavors. So he's mixed all of that up together to make a little bit of a gravy. He's going to add some flour and water to thicken this up a bit, and just, like I said, create a gravy and add the beef back in once he gets, here's the beef. Doesn't that look good? It's so good. He just fried that up with all the same seasonings, minus the wine and the soup. But you can see there's some onions in there. And that's just so good. And it's nice and caramelized. And he is going to add that to this mixture. Oh yes, bone broth. He's adding bone broth. This is homemade beef bone broth that we made. This is made from the beef bones from the cows that we helped our son raise. Bone broth is so nourishing, and it really ups the nourishment value of your meal when you're adding it to whatever it is you're eating. You could do plain water. That will work too. You can use a little bit of milk in with that to give it a little bit of a creamy texture. That will work too, or cream. Some cream cheese would work really well. All of those things can be done. The bone broth just really adds a lot of nourishment. Now this is going to sit for a little bit, simmer and thicken. He's adding the beef back to this, give it a little bit of stir. And I also have some rice going in the rice maker, the rice cooker in the other room. Plain white rice, it's all we're using. And we're going to pour this beef mixture, beef and gravy and all of this wonderful vegetables over the top of that. And that's it. That's all. You could top it with some chopped scallions or a little bit of parsley. Either one would be delicious. This is Friday, January 20th, and for dinner tonight, we are just pulling from the freezer. And these are some steaks we found in the back of the freezer, and some scallops, and Joe has a potato with some cream cheese and cheddar and butter on it. Sour cream, not cream cheese. These green beans are from our garden. We canned those this past summer. And We also have some onions, fried onions, because those are delicious. And I will tell you, this is a potato skin. Have you ever eaten potato skins on a baked potato? They are so, so good. You just butter them and the butter melts in there and they're delicious. Lots of vitamins in those. Thank you for joining me. I hope you gleaned something from this week. I promise next week will be next week I'm going to try to do something different. So I'll have something different for you just to change it up a little bit, because we are going to be doing this for 3 months. So I don't want you to get bored with, what I'm eating each week. And if there's something that you would like to see me try or me do within this challenge, let me know. Is there something that you're wondering about? Maybe how to use something, or how, I'm not sure. I know I've showed how we're using dehydrated items. I've shown how we're using, I don't think I did the sourdough. I have done that on previous challenges. Did a lot with sourdough. I've got some coming up too. We've done a lot with leftovers, but I feel like that's a lot of this challenge. And we've, pulled out of our freezer a lot of different things. There are a few things that we do need to use, but just let me know if there's something specific that you are curious about or wondering about, would like to hear about, would like to see me make. Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to my channel, you can subscribe below. I'd love to have you join my family of keepers. I make new videos every week on simple living, homestead grown, and all things home. And until next time,